Hello and welcome to the Acacia League Qualifiers. In this qualifying, there will be two groups of 12 teams, and 8 teams from each group will move on. They will battle across 4 events, being the Skyrail Time Trials, Swimming, Gravitrack Slalom, and Funnel Endurance. As we see, the first run of the Skyrail Time Trial is the speeding trains. Going down pretty slow around the beginning, but they managed to get some speed back. Goal is to get as fast as time as possible. There will be an 8:22 for the speeding trench. Next up, Split from the Bright Tulips. And also slow near the beginning. Seems like a hard section to navigate for these models. Going down, this looks slower, and it is 8:30. Putting them in second out of 2. Next up, we have the Sky Seahorses with Precipitation. Going in with a pretty speedy around the last part. And it will be an 8:41. That's not good for the Sky Seahorses. Next up, Crimson Isles with their captain Crimson, a Canadian. So rolling in, also very slow. All models seem to be very slow around the beginning part. 8:25. That's 300ths of a second off the lead. See now, Loose, the reserve member from Translucent Grass, is up, and he is having a hard time navigating. Pretty quick final turn, and put them in 8:27. See, at the halfway point of this group, we see Sweet Dandelions with Rose rolling in, and they're looking pretty good. And it will be an 8:37. Okay, maybe not as good as I thought. Next up, Telekin from Spiritual Psychics. Pretty pretty average run. Seems like it's gonna, 8:52, that's last so far. Next up, Stars from Cherry Clouds. They haven't really done any well. And this also looks like that's not gonna be the best run, but it actually is. It's an 8:15. That is gonna put them in first. That was way more surprising than I thought. Let's see if the camera races have an answer to that. It looks like they won't, and they don't, with an 8:23, putting them at fourth. Next up, Veldy Winds. Twig rolling down, and the speedy exit. Final few turns navigating. Ooh, that will be an 8:19. That slowdown around the final turn might have cost them first place, but here are the mid-chalk chips. Funnel towards one. Spearmint. And this looks pretty good. Moving around turns pretty quickly, and this is an 8:14, and that will put them in the lead with just one run to go. Can Decipod from the Ghost Crabs stop the mid-chalk chips from winning this event in the qualifiers? It seems like they will, and they won't. In fact, they will finish last in the event. That means that the mint chocolate chips will win it, followed by the Cherry Clouds and Valdivians. For moving on to Group B, Ray from Team Light. The team hasn't done really well in the JBL Cup, so they want to improve here. So far, it looks like a decent run, and it is. It's an 8:06. I think that would have been first place in Group A. Lim from Team Lemonade also hasn't done well in the JBL Cup. Let's see what they have in the tank. 8:62. That's really good. Sapphire Spirals with Swirls. Ooh, that's a really slow beginning, even in comparison to the other slow stars. He does recover, and he does get an 8:08, so it's pretty good recovery from them. Next up, we have the Highballers with Sky. Also slow beginning, but very quickly around the next few turns, shooting down the course. 7:60. That demolishes the team and will put them in the first by a mile. Amethyst from Polished Emeralds looking to put a fight up against that, but I don't think anyone will. It's dominant from the Highballers. And 8:42. That's a good result indeed. Next up, we have the Caesars with a reserve member rolling in, and pretty average so far, and this is not going to challenge for the lead. It is actually second, 798 with a sub-8 run. Next up, Whirlpool from the Whitecaps, the champions of the JBL Cup. Let's see what they're going to do here, and it will be 843. That's not the best. It's going to be put them in the near last. Planetary from Violet Nebulas. And let's see what he can do. It's kind of not great, and the result also shows that 833. Earth from the Catastrophic Elements. They are lots of slowdowns here, and it's an 8 out of 10. They would be pretty solid if it weren't for all these slowdowns. Next up, Koala from Earth Entities. Speeding up a lot with a second, also losing a bit of that. 822. They're great indeed. Illuminate from Thundering Lights. And they are slow start, but very quickly after that, Thundering Lights with a good run. 814. Let's put them in second. A final runner, Aquatic from the Aqua Splashers. Then they put up a fight against the Highballers. It doesn't seem like it at first, but it's rolling pretty quickly. 791 is going to be second place. But Sky will win this event, followed by Aquatic and the Polish. We move on to the Gravitrack Slalom, Group A. We have 2 marbles per heat. And the best time out of the group wins. Everybody gets just one run. Start off with the captain and reserve. Ghost from the Ghost Grab, Minty from the Mint Chocolate Chips. And the Mint Chocolate Chips had a good time of a 464. Next up, Spiritual Psychics and the Cherry Clouds, I believe. And it's close, but it's the Cherry Clouds who will get the win with the Blossom. Next up, Aurora from the Sky Seahorses and Tree from the Valdivians. And it's close, it's the Valdivians now. It doesn't really matter about beating your opponent, it's about getting a good time. It's Colt's Foot from Sweet Dandelions and Train, the Captain from the Trains are up next. It's the Speeding Trains out of front, ahead of the Sweet Dandelions, and the Speeding Trains was slowing to second. Time 466. It's still the Mint Chocolate Chips in the lead with 2 more heats to go. Bright Tulips and Caramel Racers. There's the Bright Tulips easily winning it. And they will slide to 4th. Caramel Racers in last. Final heat now. Trance and One Eye. Translucent Grass and Crimson Eye respectively. Translucent Grass out of front. And they will win it. But it will be the Mint Chocolate Chips winning their second event, followed by the Speeding Trains and Cherry Clouds. The Mint Chocolate Chips are dominating this group, Cherry Clouds in second. Remember, the bottom 4 will not make it. We see Group B, Team Lemonade and the Highballers. First and last of the last event, and it will be the Highballers winning it. Just like the Whitecaps and the Aqua Splashers. 2 water teams facing off, and the Whitecaps win. With the reserve member Wave against Tsunami from the Aqua Splashers. Polished Emeralds and Caesars. And it's very close. Ooh! I think the Polished Emeralds might have got it. Check it out. No, the Caesars have. But by 100th of a second. And next up are the Violet Nebulas and Team Light. It's Team Light in today. Team Light are actually doing well. Wow. Dark with a 464. That's exactly Minty's time from Group A. I might have a shot at gold. As long as neither of the Earth Entities or Sapphire Spiral deny them, they have a good chance, and neither of them will, in fact. Gemstone does put in a sub-5 run. So yeah, for final 2, run is Thundering Lights and Catastrophic Element. And it's the Thundering Lights, they will win the event. With a 453, they will win it. Followed by Team Light. Well, Team Light are into the lead. We move on to event 3, which is swimming. So in every heat contains 4 marbles with Mint Chocolate Chips, Valdivians, Crimson Owls, and Ghost Crabs, I believe. And it's the Ghost Crabs and Valdivians who move on. Shamrock and 2 Eyes from the Mint Chocolate Chips and Crimson Owls are out. Next up, Cherryclops, Caramel Racers, Translucent Grass, and Sky Seahorses. Sky Seahorses into the lead, and Caramel Racers take second. As our next heat, we have the Spiritual Psychics, Food Gatherers, Bright Tulips, and Speeding Trains. As the Speeding Trains are out to the lead, it's close for second, but it's the Bright Tulips, and a tie for third between the Spiritual Psychics and Sweet Dandelions. Now, first semi-final between the Ghost Crabs and the Caramel Racers, and the Caramel Racers easily win it. Speeding Trains and Valdivia's Class and Champion facing off, and it's Class from the Speeding Trains beating out the Valdivians. Except Tulip from Bright Tulips and Condensation from the Sky Seahorses. Two captains racing up. It's close, but the Bright Tulips are going to the lead, and they will win. They will go to the final. So those three teams will be the top three: Bright Tulips, Speeding Trains, and Caramel Racers. In what order will it be though? It's the Caramel Racers out of front. Here come the Bright Tulips. And who got it? It is the Caramel Racers by 1/100th of a second. Just barely over the Bright Tulips. See, very close. Mint Chocolate Chips still in the lead, followed by Speeding Trains, just 2 points behind. We move on to Group B swimming with Team Lemonade, Whitecaps, Aqua Splash, and Team Light. And Team Lemonade easily move on. Ooh, it's close for a second, but Team Light gets it, which means that the two water teams surprisingly don't advance. Must be surprising. Violet Nebula, Sapphire Spirals, Catastrophic Elements, and Thundering Lights are next. The Violet Nebulas will win, and who got second? I think that was the Thundering Lights, barely over the Catastrophic Elements. And they are. Thundering Lights doing a good job in the qualifiers overall. Jade, Snowy Owl, Big King, and Air, I believe, and it's Polished Emeralds and Caesars who will move on. Caesars actually barely took first. See, Thundering Lights and Team Lemonade in our first semi-final, and it's Team Lemonade on the front. You go to Thundering Lights. It's not going to be enough. Team Lemonade onto the top three. Next up, Caesars and Team Light. Two teams that have really polar opposites of fate before, but Team Light will advance. And Team Light will get another top three. Polished Emeralds and Violet Nebulas in our third semi-final, and it's the Polished Emeralds will get an easy win over the Violet Nebulas. So we've got Team Lemonade, Team Light, and the Polished Emeralds in the final. It's Team Lemonade in the lead. Here come the Polished Emeralds. Team Light took third, and I think the Polished Emeralds have won. And they have, just barely 2/100th of a second, they will win over Team Lemonade and Team Light. Move on to the final event, Funnel Endurance. And actually, all 12 teams will compete in the same heat, and the goal is to stay in the funnels the longest. Down they come. It's all in the first funnel who will be the first to drop down. It's the Caramel Racers, followed by the Mint Chocolate Chips and Crimson Owls. Everyone all spinning in the second funnel. It's a close pack. And the Speeding Trains drop through, followed by the Bright Tulips. Mint Chocolate Chips spinning around the center. Will they be the first one done? No, they will not. That's Cherry Clouds, I believe. A lot of marbles falling down. There go the Speeding Trains. There go Valdivians. Ghost Crabs are done. Translucent Grass is done. Crimson Owls are done. Spiritual Psychics get a silver, and the Sky Seahorses win the event. Let's see what this does to the overall standings. Let's see who has qualified. Speeding Trains, Mint Chocolate Chips, Cherry Clouds, Caramel Racers, Sky Seahorses, Valdivians, Bright Tulips, and Translucent Grass. We move on to Group B now. With another 12 teams lined up in the blocks and ready to go. Who's the first to drop through? I believe that was the Highballers, followed by the Violet Nebulas. Now it's the Aqua Splashers at the inside, and they will not be the first to drop through. That's the Polished Emeralds, followed by Team Light. Up top it is the Earth Entities and Thundering Lights having the lead. Polished Emeralds are done. Aqua Splashers are done. Team Light are done. Catastrophic Elements, Highballers, Violet Nebulas are out. Faster than I can say it. Caesar, Sapphire Spirals are all out. And there go Team Lemonade, they are out. Thundering Lights get the silver, and the Earth Entities will win the Funnel Endurance in Group B. Let's see who has qualified. Thundering Lights, Team Lights, Caesars, Earth Entities, Sapphire Spirals, and, well, 3 others. Thanks for watching.